water is life. Everything that we eat, it needs water. We need water. And our body needs water. So we can go a couple of days without food, but we can't go a couple of days without water.
The city of San Jose is currently in a state of emergency. With reservoirs running low and very little rainfall this year, local professionals are concerned of the well-being of our community because water is essential to human survival.
Jerry De La Piedra. I am the unit manager for the district's water supply planning and conservation unit. I've been at the district for about 14 years now. We are in a drought. We're in an unprecedented drought, one of the worst ones we've seen in historical times. We're actually in the 4th year of a drought, and so it is a challenging year. We don't know how long the drought is going to be in place. We don't know if it's going to be over next year or 2 years from now or 10 years from now. Our board of directors, the Santa Clara Valley Water District's board of directors, has called for a 30% reduction in water use. And that's because, for several reasons, but primarily because we have what's called subsidence issues here in Santa Clara County. And so we rely on our groundwater basins as a major water supply. And in the past, those have been overpumped and land is actually sunk in some places as much as 14 feet. And that's permanent. You can't recover from that. And so we want to make sure that doesn't happen again because it causes a lot of issues in terms of infrastructure, buildings, pipelines, bridges, things like that, that could be damaged. Well, it's important for several reasons in terms of why the reservoirs are drying up. One, we don't have as much water as we would like. And so those are important in terms of our water supply because if we don't have that water, then that means the groundwater is going to be heavily used or heavily pumped, which means we're going to have, again, the threat of subsidence, which is what we're trying to avoid.
For the public, water supply is running low. But for the businesses of farming and produce, the impact of huge water cuts will soon be making their way into the consumer's wallet.
My name is Luis Villarreal. Everybody knows me by Louis. I've been in business 31 years. I'm a produce buyer from Mi Pueblo. I remember a little vaguely about the early 80s, mid 80s, when there was talks about droughts. That was junior high, so I can't really remember much. But as far as doing my job, yes, it's the worst I've seen, and it's pretty alarming, especially for that type of business. I mean, the demand is there, and the production is not. Well, there's definitely frustrations from farmers. They're asking them to cut about 30% of their usage of water. And so by restricting them 30%, that means that they have to cut back on their acreage about 30 to 40% more. And eventually that brings less fruit available, less vegetables available for the consumers. Product is being fight for. I'm not the only buyer looking for product, so if there's another buyer out there that's needs the product and is willing to pay more for it, he will get it first. Worst case scenario would be that there's no product available here. That all of a sudden the growers decide to move out of the country and start growing in other countries. Because people gotta eat. We all gotta eat. I know as kids, I was a kid, and I was like, how am I gonna say anything? It's not my business, but now it is everybody's business to conserve water.
Our community, they understand the issues, they understand what needs to be done for the most part, and have been very responsive. They are calling us, they're asking, what can we do? What are some tips? Do you have rebates? Whatever it may be, technical assistance, and they are trying to do the right thing.
We are so used to having access to water at the touch of a button or a flick of a switch, it is very easy for it to be taken for granted. Keep in mind that you might have a clean glass of water in hand, but the environment around you is slowly shriveling up into complete dryness. Remember to conserve.